Hey guys, it's Ash here with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 flexes in My Hero Academia. Number 10, casting a shadow on Mina. The one-on-one portion of the sports festival promised some heated battles, and it totally delivered, just not with this round. In fact, this brawl's over so fast that it's hard to call it a battle at all. Despite her skills, Mina's time in the ring only accounted to throwing a few globs of acid. Tokoyami's Dark Shadow easily avoided the attacks, and then proceeded to instantly knock her from the arena. And he did it in just one blow, no less. Mina may have ended her tournament run without much damage, but after a showing like that, the same can't be said for her dignity. Number 9, Mirko's Kickoff. In the middle of the most high-stakes operation the series had ever seen, Mirko decided to prove that she isn't the number 5 ranked hero for nothing. So she stormed the lab, tore through enemy lines, and even took on 5 high-end Nomu all by herself. Not that it slowed her down one bit though. Instead, she kicked some serious Nomu tail, and still had time left over to destroy Shigaraki's containment pod too. Basically, Mirko had this whole operation wrapped up before the rest of the heroes could even catch up to her. Despite the fact that this was just the start of the war, there's no doubt about it, Mirko was the total MVP. Number 8, Concrete Defeat. Final exams aren't supposed to be easy, but this one was just plain embarrassing to watch. Up against a pro hero that controls cement, Red Riot and Sugarman decided the best plan was to punch their way through. Except they failed to realize that Cementos can make walls a whole lot quicker than they can break them down. So in the end, all their so-called strategy accomplishes is completely tiring them out. Then once they're defenseless, Cementos claimed the win without ever having taken a single step. Yeah, it's safe to say both Red Riot and Sugarman got a big fat F on this one. Number 7, One Punch Mina. In a battle between lasers and acid, most would probably put their money on the projectile quirk. But Mina benefited from being in the same class as Aoyama, so she knew all of his tricks. And more importantly, all of his weaknesses. Using some slick acid skating, she dodged all of his strikes, melted his belt, and then dropped his trousers for good measure. However, it only got worse from there, and Mina finished the job with a single rousing uppercut. With that one move, she destroyed both his ego and his tournament prospects all at once. Mina said it best herself. This round was a piece of cake. Number 6, Arm for an Arm. If there's one thing Shigaraki does well, it's hold a grudge. So when Overhaul stepped on the League of Villains' toes, it was only a matter of time before the decay-based villain struck back. And as it turns out, revenge is a dish best served with cruelty. Right after the gang leader was taken into custody, Shigaraki swooped in and took away the one thing Overhaul held dearest, his powers. Not just with a quirk deleting bullet either. No, instead, Shigaraki had Mr. Compress forcibly amputate both of Overhaul's arms. It's an oh-so-sweet moment of vindication, especially since now, there's no way for Overhaul to ever retaliate. Number 5, Speedrun. Even for a guy with engines for calves, this fight was over pretty dang quick. But perhaps the most ironic part is that this was Ida being merciful. Ever the gentleman, he didn't want to hurt a lady. So instead of actually fighting Ibarra, he settled for what might be the fastest ring outs in UA history. Keep in mind he pushed her the long way out of the arena too, as if begging her to try and fight back. However, in doing so, he unintentionally proved just how much more powerful he was. Now just imagine how quick it would have ended if he'd actually been trying. Number 4. Shigaraki Awakens. Since Mirko prematurely woke this villain from his beauty sleep, hopes were high that he'd be too groggy to put up much of a fight. Unfortunately, even without a finished body, Shigaraki managed to decimate a third of Jakku City, and that's no hyperbole. Without so much as a yawn, he decayed buildings, citizens, heroes, and everything else in between. There's not many people, good or evil, who could have unleashed such devastation, let alone when they aren't at their peak. If this attack is any indication, by the time Shigaraki finally cuts loose, there may not be an Earth left to mourn. Number 3, alright, All Might. For a school-proctored battle simulation, All Might sure seems to be having a lot of fun here. Though it's hard to blame him. Even with some sandbags on his powers, taking on Deku and Bakugo is nothing more than child's play to him. So throughout most of this exam, he seems to be treating it as more of a playground game than a true battle. And given that he endures Bakugo's ultimate attack without so much as a wince, that confidence is completely earned. By the time Deku and Bakugo's teamwork gives him a run for his spandex, All Might's already proven why he's one of the best heroes there's ever been. Number 2, Mirio's power. No matter how strong someone is, 20 against 1 usually isn't very good odds. But when that 1 is Mirio Togata of the big 3, it's a different story. He doesn't just single-handedly thrash all of Class 1A, he does it without even breaking a sweat. Despite being outnumbered, Mirio's permeation quirk meant that he was literally untouchable. Not that the freshman got close enough to land a blow anyway. Really, all they could do was sit around and wait for their turn to be defeated. Tamaki did try to warn them, but suffice it to say, 1A had to learn the hard way that Mirio really does have power. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, One for All and All for One. Based on his name alone, it's clear that All Might's nemesis is not to be taken lightly. So in his haunting debut, All for One lived up to his reputation by paralyzing the onlookers through sheer intimidation. All for One. Then, without ever even raising his voice, he effortlessly dismantled the entire squad of pro heroes, just like that. The thrashing is getting off easy compared to Best Genist, who isn't even deemed worthy enough to have his quirk stolen. Apparently to All for One, a group of trained combatants is nothing more than an excuse to show off. Following this insane entrance, it's just amazing anyone had the guts to face All for One ever again. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.